Hello and welcome, I'm Fun, and today I'll be taking on Wayward One on Extinction mode for, well, the third game. Been unlucky the other times. Yeah, I'll just cut in the description of the setup here, and you can use the timestamps or the chapters to go directly to gameplay if you already know what I'm talking about or are just uninterested. Wayward One is a nifty little nemesis that has this position chart over here, which means when it has this tracker. So when it's, which means that it becomes aligned to the breach number that is out on. So here's line to breach 1, 2, 3, 4. And different minions are also specified that they are aligned to certain breaches. It's only when you cast a spell from a aligned breach that you deal full damage from that spell. Otherwise, you will deal half on normal mode, but here we are playing with increased difficulty, which means that they will always deal 1 damage instead of half rounded up. Here we have the rules describing what's going on. So whenever it unleashes, it shifts position. So it goes always from right to left, so to the right, and then it goes back up to 1 after 4. When it unleashes, you check if you have any spell there that's aligned now, you may discard it. If you don't, Gravehold suffers 3 damage. Yeah, and you only need to have the spell prepped to at least the aligned breach in order for the spell to be aligned, and everything else is misaligned. So during setup, yeah, we set up the Wayward position chart and put it on position 1. And I think that's pretty much everything there is to explain with the Wayward One. It's pretty straightforward when it comes to that, but it can be quite frustrating to deal with during gameplay because I have my spell aligned, so if I just go next, I can deal some damage, but no, it unleashed and moved to the next breach, and now they're misaligned, so I cannot deal damage I wanted to. But that's gameplay wise. To take it down, we are playing with Jian. Specifically, we're playing Jian, I don't exactly remember how to pronounce her name, but it's somewhere around there. You're gonna hear me mispronounce it for the whole video, I think. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry about that. But we're playing her for Black Mirror ability. Activate during the main phase, cast any player's prep spell without discarding it, then cast that prep spell again and discard it afterwards. We are using this ability because we can immediately prep the spell and then cast it as soon as we prepped it. That way we do not need to wait another turn in order for it to be cast. And that way we do not risk it moving out of position and thereby the spell being misaligned. So that's why we are playing Jian. She also has the Moonstone shard, which helps getting gems. Gain 1 ether, gain additional ether that can only be used to gain a gem. So, well, it's only really helpful for turn 1, but it's to make up for the 4 sparks, which are also very helpful. She has 4 sparks in total, which means that we have a lot of sparks that we can prep and discard whenever we need to reduce the damage from the unleashes. So that way we can, basically, every spark becomes a free HP to Gravehold, in a sense. So that way we can keep Gravehold healthy. To partner up with Jian, we have Lash. More or less we are using Lash for his ability as well. Quicken Thought. Activate during any player's main phase. Shuffle any player's turn order card into the turn order deck. That player suffers 1 damage. You may not choose the wild card turn order card. And this is basically because Jian, with her ability to double cast a spell, is going to be a hyper carry. So the more turns she can take, the more damage she can deal. Like, she's gonna be so high potent, she can be so high potent late game that by giving her 2 extra turns, she can basically just wipe the floor with Wayward One. And ability to gain another turn to the other mage compounds really quickly. because the more turns they have, the more they can scale. So it helps Jian to scale really well, get the spells she needs and fire them off. And on top of that, that also helps getting in between turns, so we don't have the misalignment issue, that kind of thing. He also has the Quartz Shot. Gain 1 ether, reveal the top card of the turn order deck. You may place that card at the bottom or the top of the turn order deck. If you revealed a player turn order card, gain an additional ether. First of all, turn 1 you have like 2 out of 3 games where you have 5 ether that way, so you can buy a burning opal or something like that, which kind of makes you a lot stronger throughout the game. Other times you're just going to have 4 ether and buy a double jade, which is fine too. But more importantly, throughout the game, you're going to have turns where it's like, oh, you reveal the top card. I would prefer to go after the Nemesis, so you put them at the bottom of the deck, or you're happy to see the mage now, so you put them at the top. You keep them at the top, and you get the extra ether. Sometimes you reveal a Nemesis turn order card, and you're like, yeah, I would like you to go next, or I do not want you to go next, so you get that extra control for how the turn is gonna turn out, how the round is gonna turn out, which is pretty nifty, especially late game, where there can be so many threats out, or you might just need one more turn to win, and then you see Nemesis like, oh no, go next, go late, and you just win before they're revealed. So that's super nice. For the supply, we have Jade, because both Jian and Lash wants to have a lot of ether. They want to have 7 ether in their third hand to buy the spell that we're gonna look at later, but also gonna keep the ether to charge up their ability consistently. So that's why we're having Jade. They're both gonna go for double Jade, or well, a burning opal for Lash. Gain 3 ether, you may discard a card in hand. If you do, any ally draws a card. Helps Jian go through her deck really nicely, especially with Quartz Shard. Sometimes that's gonna have a floating ether, and then you're just gonna turn that floating ether, which is gonna be a crystal, into a card draw for Jian, so that's pretty nice. We have Clouded Sapphire, we're not gonna use that. We have Bottle Vortex, you saw that in the recent games. I suppose, yeah, it speaks for itself. It's just like 3 ether, destroy 2 cards in your deck. More or less. It destroy this, destroy up to 2 cards in your hand, or discard pile, draw a card. It's so OP. It helps getting rid of some of the sparks for mid to late game for Jian. So when you buy the new spells, they're not gonna be too many spells in her hand without being able to prep them. We have Temporal Helix, cast any place prep spell without discarding it, 7 ether. Quite nice, like it's probably gonna be like the last card you draw a buy, like you calculate, oh, I need that much damage, like let's just buy Temporal Helix, put it into our deck and then draw it to hopefully win the game with it. It's not gonna be a mainstay. I'm probably not gonna buy it. For spells, I have Spectral Echo, 3 ether, cast, deal 2 damage, you may destroy a card in hand. Pretty good spell, probably not gonna buy it. It helps to get rid of spell sparks and crystals early game and to thin out the deck, it's fine. 6 ether, Planar Insight, cast, deal 2 damage, deal 1 additional damage for each of your open breaches, just for late game damage in case I need it. Like we have so many other spells we want to buy. Well, we have one other spell we want to buy. Wildfire Whip, saw that in our recent game series as well. 6 ether. While prep, during your main phase, you may spend 2 ether to cast any player's prep spell, cast, deal 4 damage. Same principle as Temporal Helix. Just like at the end game, check, oh, we're close to the end, so let's just buy a Wildfire Whip. Hopefully we'll see it and blast it off on our last turn to deal that extra 4 or 5 damage. And here we have the main attraction for this game, Sage's Brand. This spell must be prepped to 2 adjacent breaches so that this card touches both breaches. This fully occupies both breaches. And that's more or less why we are using it. Because that way you can prep it to 1 breach And then even if Wayward One moves 1, it's likely that you will still be aligned to it, so that way you're gonna keep it for longer in range. Also you're able to be prepped to both 3rd and 4th breach, getting that extra damage, or even 3rd and 2nd breach, still getting extra 1 damage, as if it were just in 3rd breach, but aligned to 2nd breach. While prepped, draw an additional card during the draw phase. If you keep it prepped, you're gonna draw an extra card. At the end of your turn, keep it prepped, I mean like Jian is gonna blast it off with her ability, but it's gonna be fine. We're gonna buy 2 Sage's Brands with her, so she's likely to always have 1 prepped and then 1 that she blasts off. Cast, deals 6 damage. Pretty alright damage, a bit low for 7 cost, but I guess you draw a card on it, so it's probably fine. And yeah, and of course we are playing on Extinction mode. So as I mentioned, that means we are playing with increased difficulty, but also the Nemesis has 10 extra lives, so instead of 60, it now has 70. Greyhole has 5 less HP, so 25. Both mages are from down to 8 HP from 10, so 2 less on each. And yeah, that's everything, so I'll just reset this and let's get into the game. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and see who goes first. We're starting off with the Nemesis. We're having Eye of Nothing. To discard, spend 6, power 2, unleash twice. Which is honestly not that bad, because, well, yeah, we have a lot of opportunities to be fine with that. It's just gonna unleash, we're just gonna discard some sparks, Greyvault's gonna be fine. Right, Jian goes next, starting off with double sparks. And we have 4 ether, so we're just gonna double Jade. We have Lash going next. Right, so I guess it's 1 in 3 to get extra ether, and we do get it on Quartz Shard. So yeah, it's just fine to have Lash next, Jian again next, I think. It doesn't really matter at this early stage. So that'll be 5 ether, so that's gonna be a Burning Opal. Going out with discard pile, and then we prep that spark, and that's just gonna be it. Alright, so we have Jian. Yeah, so that's gonna be 2 sparks there, I believe. Bring it down to 23, sorry, wrong one, 68. Prepping the 2 other sparks. And then for 3, I think I'm just gonna go for Spectral Echo. And that's gonna be it. Right, and then we're going to Lash. Good, so we're gonna use that spark down to 67. Use 3 ether to open up our 2nd breach, and then prep and prep. And that's gonna be it for Lash. Right, and we have Nemesis. So Eye of Nothing goes down to 1. And we have Blinking Terror. This minion is aligned to breach 3. Persistent, any player loses 1 charge or suffers 2 damage. Okay. Well, would have been, yeah, actually, yeah, we should have let Jian go last, because then at least the sparks would have gone to Blinking Terror. But well, it's what it is. Bad mistakes. So that's round 1. Shuffle up, and we'll go into round 2. Let's get back into it. We have Jian going next, so what it's gonna be, it kind of doesn't really matter with the sparks. It'll be 3, 4, 5. But I would rather keep them there, because we now have 7 ether in our hand, so that would be a Sage's Brand. So to not have too many sparks lying around, I'm just gonna go directly for the Sage's Brand and just deal damage on the next turn. Okay, let's see how that goes. We have Lash Jian go again, so that's going to be 2 sparks, taking it down to 4. And now we actually have the issue. I didn't consider that really, because we haven't focused our third breach. So it's going to be a Spectral Echo and a Spark. We don't have Ether for anything but other than a charge, which is nice because that will be able to pay off Blinking Terror's damage for one time. But we're stuck with a Spark in hand, and we'll draw 4. But at least we still got the Sage's Brand. That's nice. Okay, we have Nemesis, so I have nothing triggers. So it unleashes twice, so first it moves 1 on the position chart. I think we're just gonna have Jian discard that Spark because we already... Yeah, she already went. Unleashes again, and this time we have to suffer the damage, so that's 3 damage to Gravehold. Right, Blinking Terror, any player loses 1 charge or suffers 2 damage, and we're gonna lose that charge from Jian. Okay, so new card, Skewer. Unleash, any player suffers 3 damage and draws 1 card. So it goes first up here to breach 4. And yeah, we don't have anything to discard, so it goes directly to 19 health. A Gravehold goes to 19 health, and then we have to say who discards, suffers damage. To draw a card. What's next anyway? Moonstone Shard. So that'd be 4 and 5. Would be 6 Ether with that. Yeah, 6 Ether would be nice, I guess. Yeah, so Jian's gonna suffer that, going down to 5 health. And then draws that card. But then again... so the thing is, Lash can draw it now, and then it will become into play much sooner. He already has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Ether, so that would be 8. Would it really matter for Lash? I think it's just fine, yeah. Jian's just gonna draw that. I think that's best, even though like she already went. It would have been better to get it before. So that's how that Skewer is gonna go. Good, good. And we have Lash go next. Alright, so that's 2 sparks to kill off Blinking Terror, I think. I'll take it down to 2 health. Does it really matter? No, we're not getting damage next turn anyway, so we're just gonna keep deck rotation. Better off. Good. So let's check with Court Shard. It's 50-50. Yeah, we don't get the extra Ether, so we just go directly to 7. Otherwise, we're discarded a crystal to let Jian draw a card, but just going directly to the Sage's Brand. Good. Well, not so good. Or in 5. Nice. Oh, by the way, yeah, we could. It's not gonna matter. So we're just gonna let it go now. Right, so we have Nemesis again. This time Lash gonna suffer that damage, going to 6. Drawing a new card, we have Quantum Maze. Power 2, if any player has an aligned spell, a player with an aligned spell suffers 5 damage. Well, right now that's gonna be a bit difficult, wouldn't it? Because it's at breach 4. Right, so we have Lash go again. Right, so this time the 2 damage is gonna trigger, going down to 2. And for 3 Ether, we're gonna focus up our 3rd breach and prep. Yeah, Sage's Brand over here, and then the Spark here. It's gonna be it for Lash, and gonna draw 6 cards because of the Sage's Brand, so that's 5. Flip over the deck and draw 1 card more. Cool. And then we'll go into round 3 and see what happens then. If we're gonna keep taking damage from Blinking Terror, that would be quite terrible, but well, what can you do? Okay, so let's see what's going down. We have Lash go now, so it's quite tempting to just go directly into using the Blinking Sage's Brand on Blinking Terror to take it out, and I think I'll do exactly that. Doubling down on it, though it's like a lot of damage wasted, but then again it had to be aligned with Wayward One to deal damage there, so that's quite unfortunate either way. 3, 4, 7, and then with a spark. Just gonna prep the spark over here, let it wait. Gonna check with Court Shot the top card and see what we draw next. Alright, so it'll be Jian next, and I kind of feel like putting Jian at the bottom. So there. Right, but we got 8 ether in our hand, so what we're gonna do is discard Crystal and Burning Opal to let Jian draw a card. And let's check our deck cycling. So the next cards will be 4, 5 into Sage's Brand. I think we're just gonna continue with one more Sage's Brand. I think that's quite nice. Good, and then we hit Nemesis. So Quantum Maze goes down to 1. That's what we like to see. And we have Vow and Sky. To discard 3 cards in hand, power to unleash any player suffers 4 damage. Which is quite nice that we have Jian to go last again, because now we have more opportunities to resolve these powers. Alright, we have Lash going again. Yeah, so that would be 1 spark to go down to 66 over here. For 3 ether, we're gonna focus up our 3rd breach, prepping Sage's Brand over here in case we don't wanna cast it just right away. And that's gonna be it for Lash. And we have Jian go. Right, so let's see what's gonna happen. First of all, we would probably like to use Spectral Echo to destroy a spark, because we have so many sparks in the deck. We're gonna start by that to deal 1 damage over here and destroy that spark. Good, so we have what? We have 4, 5, 6, 7 ether, so we might as well just buy 1 more Sage's Brand as well. Good, and now we should focus on opening up some breaches. And well, it doesn't hurt so much with all the sparks this time around, because we can just discard them on Vow and Sky. Good, we have Nemesis go now, that's really nice. Quantum Maze don't trigger because we don't have any aligned spells. Oh, and I did check up with other people, and they also interpret like Blinking Terror and all the other cards that says aligned shouldn't really count towards Quantum Maze. It's supposed to be only counting for aligned with the Nemesis. So yeah, if you're aligned with Blinking Terror, you wouldn't suffer the 5 damage from Quantum Maze. That's what we're trying to say here. Vow and Sky goes down to 1. And we have Irradiate. Any player suffers 2, and any player discards misaligned prep spell. Good, so I think that's gonna be Lash again, going down to 4. Discarding the spark over here. And that's gonna be it. We have, yep. Good, and Jian's gonna go next. I think we're just gonna keep Sage's Brand prepped for the extra card draw. And yeah, also because it's not aligned just yet. So we're just gonna discard 3 sparks for Vow and Sky. And for the 3 ether, we're gonna start by focusing up our breaches. So we are ready to be in the right position when we need to, and then we're gonna draw to 6. And that's gonna be it for round 3. So let's see if we can get some damage going now here, and then we get into tier 2. We don't have so much time left, basically. Alright, so of course a lot of good things happened in the early game here, because we haven't been that damaged. Like, I guess we're down to half, but we are quite fine. It's just that it's so unaligned over here, all over the 4. We'll see what happens. So we have Jian go. And this time we are kind of forced to use the Sage's brand, so that's going to be just 1 damage because of the increased difficulty rule. Alright, so that's 4-6 ether. So I'll be focusing that up here with 2 left, so we can prep Spectral Echo and then Sage's brand and have 1 charge. And that's going to be it. 6 cards to draw. Yeah, that's fine with sparks. And we have Lash go next. Also have to use the Sage's brand for the just 1 damage, which is kind of pathetic, but it's, you know, it's what it is. Good, so we have, let's start by Quantum Shot to check how much ether we're gonna have. All right, we're gonna have Lash go again. I think we want to go last. Okay, so we have 2, that would be 5, 6 and 7. Which would be kind of nice, because then we can focus both the 4th and the 3rd breach to prep Sage's brand there. And have a spark over here as fodder for an unleash. But in that regard, we kind of want to go next to just deal the damage. But then again, we also just want to be prep for some nasty minions that can come up. But again, you can just unleash, so yeah, we're just gonna go next and see what happens then. Yeah, so that's gonna be 6 damage directly to Nemesis, the Wayward One, going down to 57. So we are moving a bit at least. Alright, so that's 4 ether in our hand, so that's opening up our 4th breach, prepping a spark there, and another spark. And that's gonna be it, so just drawing 5 cards. And we're gonna hit Nemesis. Right, Feedback Coil. To discard, spend 7. To discard, spend 7. Power 2, the player with the most misaligned prepped spells suffers 3 damage and discards 2 cards. That's... yeah... the suffering 3 damage can be quite bad. And discards 2 cards is what it is. It's mostly the damage right now. That's the issue. We have Jian. Go again. Yeah, so we Nemesis 1 more go. Right, yeah, I don't really have any ether in hand, so I am quite forced to just do the 1 damage over here and the 2 damage over here from Spectral Echo. Down to 54, and on that I'll destroy another spark. And I'll prep the 2 sparks over here, use the 3 ether to focus the 3rd breach. And that's gonna be it for Jian. Right, Feedback Call goes down to 1, and we have Fractured Nebula. Power 2, shift Wayward One to 4, breach 4. Gravehole suffers 8 damage. The players may collectively discard up to 2 aligned spells. For each spell discarded this way, prevent 4 of that damage. So, if we are unlucky, yeah, we are in for a lot of damage in round 5. So let's shuffle up and see what's gonna go down. Okay, I think we're gonna be in for a lot of unleashes now. We are throwing into some attacks. We also haven't seen a lot of minions, actually. Yeah, we only seen 1 minion. Whew. Right, so Feedback Coil triggers. The player with the most misaligned spells, which is both of them, so we have a choice. Suffers 3 damage and discards 2 cards. That would be 6 ether. I really wouldn't like to discard cards over here, because with 5 ether I can open up the 3rd breach. But then again, yeah, we would prefer to have a spark in hand for the 4th breach, so it really doesn't matter that much. That'd be 4 ether, maybe 5. So that's definitely enough. So yeah, Lash is gonna go down to 1. and discarding 2 crystals. Maybe Quartz Shot even? Because, yeah, that's 4 ether just prompter, and then we can have the better ether down the line. That's Feedback Coil. Fractured Nebula goes to 1. And we have Unleash twice with Dispel. Play with the most prep spell, discard the most expensive prep spell. This could not have happened at any better time. Okay, so going down to 1. And just gonna discard a Spark from Lash, I believe. Goes to 2. Yeah, and I want to keep that Spark here on bridge 4, so that's why we're gonna discard this here. So Lash gonna keep it 1 and have the fewest, and then we can discard 1 over here with Lash. We're gonna discard the 1 on bridge 2 just in case. Good. Yeah, the spell often hurts a lot because it discards your most expensive prep spell when you really want to use it and take out a minion. So just discarding a Spark on it, this feels really good. Good, so we have Lash. And we're gonna keep that Spark prepped over there. Gonna get Sage's Brand there for ether. We're gonna open up our 3rd breach, which actually is where the Sage's Brand is gonna go. Good, so Lash is pretty much done, so now he can just focus on getting charges and charge up Jian to have extra turns. 6 cards. Let's see what's gonna go down. We have Jian. Good. We cannot open up our 4th breach, but we have 6 ethers, so that's enough for our 3rd breach. Prepping Sage's Brand. And we almost completely set up with Jian. Drawing 6 cards. Good. We have Lash again. So that's going to be 7 damage. Going down to... well, yeah, 7. 47. We can keep another Sage's Brand prep there. Quartz Shard. I'm gonna check the next one. It's gonna be Jian, which is really nice because that makes us able to prep a spell there to avoid the damage. And also allows us to have Sage's Brand attacking the 7 damage that we want. So see, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ether. And yes, that's just 3 charges right there, almost ready to go. Okay, Jian gonna go 7 damage, 40 health. Gonna keep the spark prep there, it's gonna be fine. Sage's Brand again there, I think, because either way it's just gonna discard it. So yeah, 4 ether to focus there, Spectral Echo, and drawing 6. Right into the next one. Yeah, so this could have gone a bit better, I suppose, but it's, yeah, as good as it goes. So it goes directly to 4, discard that Spark, discarding that Spectral Echo, not taking any damage whatsoever from Fractured Nebula. Gonna draw the minion, yeah, Warper. So that's why we want the Sage's Brand on breach 4, because Warper is aligned to breach 4, so we can only damage it, or like do more than 1 damage when we use a spell from breach 4. Warper, this minion is aligned to breach 4. When a player deals damage, that player must deal damage to this minion, 9 health. Alright. So we're almost halfway with the minion Nemesis health. We can take down Warper soon, I guess. So I'll shuffle up, draw Lash's hand, and we'll go right into round 6, and see what's gonna go down. Okie dokie. I'm gonna start off with Lash. So that's 1 damage. with a Sage's Brand. And yeah, not exactly beautiful. Alright, so Sage's Brand gonna go here to choose sparks and other open breaches. And then I'll use Burning Opal to discard a crystal to allow Jian to draw that card. And then still 4 ether, so going to 5 charges. And Jian is not here yet, but we could shuffle ourselves in, giving another chance of just stomping Womper to the ground with our own Sage's Brand. But because of Jian's ability to just pump out some Sage's Brand damage, I want to keep the ability prepped, charged up, so we're ready for that. Cool, let's see. Alright, so we have Jian. So that's going to be another poke damage of Sage's Brand to deal 1. At least we're ready to just take it out with the Sage's Brands next time, I suppose. So 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the 4 to open that, and then that's another charge. Didn't really matter with the card drawn, but it will help with the next hands, I suppose. Sage's Brand, 3 and 4, Spark in Breach 2. Oh yeah, before doing that, I would shuffle Jian in to suffer that damage. It doesn't change anything about the deck setup, so it's fine. Because Jian is really unlocked now and can really benefit from all the extra turns. And there we go, Sage's Brand dealing 7, taking out Warper, so now we can begin focusing on Wayward One again and just pummel it down. So we have 3, 4, 5 ether, so that's enough to just go directly into Sage's Brand. But then again, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I could, but do I want to? Kinda do. It's 14 damage, but if we wait until next turn. Yeah, I don't need to do it right now. I'm not wasting any ether, am I? Yeah, I'm not wasting any ether. So that Spark would also go off, dealing 1 damage. They're going down to 39. Good, so Spectral Echo, 4 ether, charge 4, and then drawing 6 cards. So that's why we don't want to use Sage's Brand just yet, because it helps us drawing cards right now. Cool. And what do we have? We have Lash, so that's going to be, yeah, 8 damage. Taking it down to, yeah, it would have been 16 damage, not 14 damage, down to 31. Good. And then just prep a Spark over there. Quartz Shard Checker is next. Jian again. Like, so the question now is, can we just win outright? 2, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, I lost the charges before. I don't think we quite can. That would be 8 damage plus the 16 there. That's 24. 24. Yeah, it's close, but it's not quite there. So I think it's fine to have Jian go last, and then no, yeah. It's just 2 Nemesis turns in a row, so it's not making a big difference. But we want to go last. Let's see what happens. We might lose out on 8 damage, but it's fine. All right, so we 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 3 charges. So yeah, almost able to just charge way up there. 6, sorry, 5. We don't have Sage's Brand out. All right. So Nemesis. Right, so we have Awaken, unleash twice and Gravehold suffers 3 damage. or place the most recently discarded minion card in Nemesis discard pile back into play. So if it unleashes, it's fine because we have all the spells up, and we still would take the 3 damage. But Gravehold is really healthy right now, so it really doesn't matter at all. The only thing is Sage's Brand gonna stick around anyway, and we want to keep it up here because that's more, we have the most damage output, and Warper doesn't really do anything. We can take it out cleanly, almost cleanly with the Sage's Brand next turn. Anyway, so Warper's just gonna come back. Oh, and now it's gonna unleash again. No, we have Venomite. Persistent, the player with the lowest life suffers 2 damage, or any player discards a prep spell that costs 3 or more, 9 health. Yeah, okay, that's gonna be an issue. Yeah, so right now, yeah, we would actually prefer for it to unleash. Because now we don't have, then we wouldn't have to focus Warper down. That's my bad, that's my mistake. I should have thought about minions not aligned to anything special coming up. So Sage's Brand going down to 1. And then either Spectral Echo is gonna take it out, or yeah, it really doesn't matter. Spectral Echo to take it down by 1, to destroy a crystal, or yeah, let's just destroy Moonstone Shard, to keep them all the same. And then Spark's gonna take out Warper. All right, sorry. Spectral Echo took out Warper, and then dealing 1 damage down to 8 health with the Spark. Prep Sage's Brand, and then utilize our ability to deal 8 damage twice. And down to what? 23. And prep Spark, yeah, 3rd Breach, why not? And 4 Ether, going up to 2 charges. So we're almost there, so let's see if we can get it in round 4 or round 7. Alright, that's 16 damage out of the gate, just 7 damage left. Right, let's see if we can pull this off in round 7. Alright, so if I'm not completely out of it, I think we just win now. I think even if we go twice in a row with Nemesis, we got this game. Well, we're not gonna start by testing it at least. Well, actually, yeah, no, it's fine because we have double Sage's Brand, so that's gonna be 2, 3, 4 damage. With just the Sparks over here, going down to 17, no 19, right. Prepping double Sage's Brand, and that's, yeah, discarding 1 crystal, so let Jian draw another card. That's 4 Ether, charge all the way up to 5, so we're ready to give Jian another turn if need be. 3, 4, 5, and then we draw 2 additional cards for the Sage's Brand. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. We have Lash again. So we're definitely gonna cast that 7 damage over here. 8 damage, sorry. Going down to 11. And then next time Jian goes, we win. Just gonna keep that Sage's Brand prepped for unleashes, I suppose. No, the Sparks are better for that, so just 1 more damage down to 10. Double Spark prepped. Quartz Shard. See Nemesis going then to the bottom. Don't want to risk it. And yeah, we don't really get to use our ability right here now, so just a lot of ether wasted is what it is. Right, so we Nemesis again. It's unleashed twice. Yeah, so that's what we had all the sparks for. 1, 2. 2 sparks discarded. No damage to Gravehold. Any player suffers 2, so Jian's gonna go down to 2. And yeah, that's kinda it. Jian again, so that's gonna be 1 damage with the spark, down to 9. And we don't even have to use the ability right now, but why not? It secures the win right here and then. Charge up to 4, there we have it. And then double bam, say this brand, 8 damage and 8 damage, so overkill of 7. Well, that's what it is. Alright, so that's nice. Wrap. That felt a lot easier than it was supposed to be. I feel like I made a lot of mistakes throughout the game. I think I'm not sure if the Spectral Echo was a good buy at that time, if Bottled Vortex would just have been better, but then again we got to destroy a few sparks and a Moonstone shot down the line, so yeah. I think, yeah. Alright, so what would the next card have been? Needlemore, yeah, that would have been totally fine. Totally fine. I was thinking of Cauterizer. If Cauterizer had come up, that would have been 3 damage to Jian, I guess, going down to 1 health. And then any player suffers 2, I suppose, would have been the other one, forcing Lash to go, what's it called? I forgot the term, but yeah, he goes down to 0 health, and then it unleashes twice more. But like, because Gravehold is so healthy in this game for some whatever reason, I find unexplainable, we would have still survived quite fine, and because of Jian's ability, it really wouldn't matter where Wayward One was, because we just always double cast with Black Mirror, dealing from 12th. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so at the end we dealt 7 damage and then 7 more. Overkill of 5, not overkill of 7. My bad. Still enough damage, still plenty enough damage. That was not the issue whatsoever. And we could also just wait for next turn because we knew we were coming up again and we were even more damage. So yeah, we had enough damage. We had enough damage. Yeah, and under the second one we could even shuffle ourselves in. Yeah, to even potentially even more damage, and with Needlemore didn't matter at all whatsoever. Right, so that's a wrap for Wayward One, and that's the end of the Nameless expansion. So we'll go into the other expansion, which I forgot, Into the Depth, maybe? Is that what it's called? Yeah, so the other expansion for the main box, where we only have 1 Nemesis. And yes, with that Nemesis, that's kind of gonna be the wrap of this first wave. And we'll see what we do from there. Yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. And I hope you enjoyed it. This 3-parter. I'm not gonna do a best of 5 of this. It's getting quite repetitive to a certain extent, and I just want to go to the next Nemesis as well. They are, yeah, because of the Extinction mode setup, there's a high variance in it. Like here, it would be super fine at just expert difficulty. Jian would still have been a 4 health, Lash would still have been a 3 health. Quicken Thought could have been used a lot more on himself as well, to just secure that, but well, here we are. It's what it is. So good, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.